Hi, this is Ishita Dutta, currently a legal intern at LEXIS and Company, and today I will be talking about the process on how to file a consumer complaint. Not all sellers are reliable in today's market. A few sellers, if not at all, rely on unfair trades and practices to sell fake or inferior quality goods to their customers in order to save costs and increase their profit. The Consumer Protection Act of 1986 was enacted to protect the interests of the consumers and also to provide legal remedies to the consumers who feel that they have been forced upon with defective or faulty goods and services. The next question comes about is who can file a consumer complaint? As per Section 2 of the Consume 1D of the Consumer Protection Act 1986, a consumer is a person who buys goods or services for consideration on which may be partly or fully paid or partly or fully promised or any other person who may consume goods with the approval of the buyer and not for the manufacturing or resale purposes. So in simple words, the following are the people who can file a complaint. 1. Anyone who paid or fully or partially paid for the goods or services. 2nd, anyone who received the goods and services for free by the manufacturer or any other person apart from the consumer. The following people and the entities can file a complaint. 1. A voluntary consumer association. 2. Central or the state government. 3. So in case the death of a consumer, his or her legal representatives or attorney can also file a consumer complaint. And the next one is the numerous consumers having the same interest in the goods or services can also file a consumer complaint. So in the case of a consumer complaint, the consumer can directly file a consumer complaint without seeking any help from any kind of legal representative or lawyer. So what is the time period of filing a consumer complaint? The answer to this is as per Section 24A of the Consumer Protection Act 1986, the time period for filing a complaint by a consumer from the date of violation of their right is 2 years exactly. So when can a consumer complaint be filed? As per, a consumer complaint can be filed which can be raised in the following cases. First, if the goods and services are bought which are defective. Second, if the goods or services are sold in an unlawful manner. Third, if the services suffer from any kind of deficiency. Fourth, if the seller or service provider follows restrictive trade practices. Fifth, if the seller or service provider follows unfair trade practice, for instance, giving false guarantee. So there are 3 divisions of the consumer court in India, and they can be divided into as follows. First, the District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum. In this, the value of goods or services and the compensation amount should not exceed more than 20 lakhs. Second is the State Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum. In this, the value of the goods or services and the compensation amount is more than 20 lakhs, but it should be less than 1 crore, as well as complaints against the orders of any district forum within the state. The third is the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum. So in this, the value of the goods or services and the compensation amount is more than 1 crore. So as well as complaints against the orders of a state commission. The next question is how to file a complaint in a consumer court. Step 1. Prior to filing a case in the consumer court, the consumer should send a written notice to the seller or the service provider through a lawyer, and the notice must be clearly stated that the complaint of the consumer and the action required. So in case the seller fails to respond to the notice, then the consumer may lodge a complaint with the competent consumer court in India. Step 2 would be that a consumer can directly file a complaint by himself or herself. The consumer complaint must include the following details. First, the introduction to the parties, name and all their details. Second is the date and the purchase of goods or services availed and the amount paid for them. Third is the details of the dispute, the defects, the goods, unfair trade practices, etc. Next would be proof of notice sent to the seller or the service provider and the response to that notice. Next would be the particulars of relief sought from the seller. Step 3 would be the consumer complaint should also have the following supporting documents attached, which is any receipt or delivery note or coupon bill, etc. An affidavit stating that the contents of the complaint are correct and complete and accurate. Next would be an index of submitted documents, a receipt of payment of court fees. Step 4. All the above stated documents should be prepared in minimum 5 sets of original and submitted to the competent court. In addition to that, one set of documents should also be submitted for each provider named in the complaint. The documents can be filed with the competent court or can be sent via registered post to the competent court. Step 5. The complainant must also pay the consumer court fees depending upon the total claim. The court fees can be paid by demand draft (DD) in favor of the respective court. The court fees is in accordance to the total claim, which are as below. Claim amount. So the court fees is total claim up to 1 lakh is rupees 100. Total claim up to 5 lakhs, the court fees would be rupees 200. The total claim up to 10 lakh rupees the court fees would be 400 rupees. Total claim up to 20 lakhs, the court fees would be 500 rupees. Total claim up to 50 lakhs, it would be 2000. Total claim above 50 lakhs up to 1 crore, the court fees would be 4000 rupees. And total claim over 1 crore, the court fees would be 5000. So how to file a consumer complaint online is also a very common question asked. Consumer Online Resource and Empowerment Center is a government run portal. So it is a complaint and grievance redressal system which is run for the Consumer Coordination Council supported by the Department of Consumer Affairs, the Government of India. So to file a complaint online, the consumer has to follow the steps below. The consumer should head to the website consumerhelpline.gov to file a complaint online. The consumer should register on the website and the consumer should also click on the new user and then register. The consumer should also type in the details like the name, the address, the phone number, the email ID, and also the username and the password have to be created. After registering, head to login and type in the username and password. Then click on File Complaint to start filing the complaint. So now select the complaint type regarding goods or services, provider, etc. So a page containing the registration form will open up and then the consumer has to fill up the form and with the necessary details of the grievance and click submit to submit the consumer complaint. Once submitted, complaints are assigned and an electronically generated number will come and this can be used to track the status of the complaint until it is resolved. According to the website, consumers can expect to get a resolution in about 3 months' time. Also, multiple complaints can also be filed using the same login credentials and can be tracked online. Complaints can be filed in both Hindi and English language. In conclusion, I would like to say that malpractices happening in the market should be brought to the notice of the consumers in order to create awareness. So this video was an attempt to create awareness to consumers on how to get a remedy in case of a violation of their rights as consumers. Thank you so much.